What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to show it to you right now. This is the new album from the band Marduk, entitled Viktoria. This is released on Century Media Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are based out of Norrköping, Sweden, and the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very fast, blasphemous, war-themed style of black metal. Yeah. I really don't need to go on too much about who Marduk are or what they're all about. I mean, if you're into black metal or Swedish black metal, you have to have a clue as to who Marduk are. Very, very legendary, very infamous, very well-regarded, well-respected band that has been so consistent in making black metal within the last quarter century. Absolutely phenomenal body of work. So many memorable and classic albums to come from this band throughout the years. I mean, albums like Dark Endless, Opus Nocturne, Heaven Shall Burn When We Are Gathered. My all-time favorite album from them, Panzer Division Marduk, to later on in their discography with albums like World Funeral and the version of Marduk we have today with their current vocalist Mortis, putting out some absolutely fire albums like Plague Angel, Rom 512, Wormwood, Serpent Sermon, and the last time we had heard something from this band, I believe back in 2015 with Frontschwein. Absolutely stunning stuff, and this band nowadays is as much of a dominant force as they've ever been before, especially when it comes to them playing live shows. They are just as strong, just as consistent, and they have been busting their asses ever since. When I found out that there was going to be a brand new Marduk album in 2018, I was extremely excited. But what threw me for a loop was the fact that the song that was released from this album had something different going for it. It sounded a lot faster. It sounded more aggressive. I almost got that sort of punkish D-beat sort of vibe going for it when I heard the song Werwolf. And I was very curious to hear how things were going to go throughout the rest of this album. And now here we are with their 14th full-length album. I can't fucking believe that. 14th album of Viktoria. It's 9 tracks and it clocks in at around 33 minutes in length, and this is easily the shortest album of the Mortis-fronted Marduk era. Very, very short record in comparison to some of the lengthier full lengths that Marduk have been putting out in recent years. But the more I listen to this album, the more I feel it begins to grow on me, and not only do I consider this one of the best black metal albums of 2018, I consider this probably one of the better albums to come from the Mortis-fronted era of Marduk. This is an absolute blast to listen to, and pretty much this is straight to the point. This is a straight to the point Marduk album, but the way they go about it here is just fun. I had a fun time listening to this record, and of course, I mentioned the song Werewolf with how quick of an opener it is, but then as the album goes on, you get a little bit of everything. You get the more mid to slow pace sort of songs, but then when the faster stuff kicks in, and it kicks in perfectly. Music-wise, this is fantastic stuff to listen to. Morgan's riffs are as deadly as it can be here. Listening to songs like Equestrian Bloodlust, Narva, The Last Fallen, even one of my favorite tracks on this record, the Devil Song. You just get some really, really top-notch guitar playing going on here. The riffs sound wonderful. The leads sound amazing. It's just really, really in-your-face sort of guitar playing going on here. It's a really awesome performance by Morgan this time around, and I think he handles a lot of great songwriting here throughout this album. The bass tone on here is very good. Very, very audible, very, very pummeling sort of sounds going on here. Even the moments where you hear the bass on its own, I think the bass sounds really, really awesome and definitely serves as the nice balance to Morgan's riffs and the way everything sounds here. It is just a very, very solid balance throughout. Drum-wise, Wittigs is probably one of the best drummers Marduk has had in recent years. I mean, if you're not familiar with Frederick Wittigs, he's a very, very awesome drummer. I believe he also plays in the band Soils of Fate. That's a really good brutal death metal band, but here in Marduk, he shines tremendously here. His drum style is all over the place. Going back to the song Werwolf, you get that punk D-beat sort of vibe going on here, but a Marduk album isn't a Marduk album if you don't have blast beats, and there are plenty and plenty of blast beats to be heard throughout this album, and he does some amazing, amazing drum performance here with his blast beats, his fills, his patterns. It's just really, really awesome to hear him sound and do the drum styles that he does, especially for some of the lengthier tracks on this album, going back to songs like Narva, Tiger One, the closing track of this record, Silent Night. It's just really, really top-notch drum performance, a top-notch drum performance here, and it's really, really great stuff to just to hear him play the way he does. He's so consistent. It's almost effortless in a way to hear him play the drums the way he does. It's just awesome. And when it comes to the vocals, it's the typical Mortis vocal performance. I mean, Mortis seems to be on a roll lately, not only with this album, but with the new Funeral Mist album, which I'll be talking about here in a couple of weeks. Mortis is a great, great frontman. He is a great frontman. He is a great vocalist. He has so many differing facets to his vocal style. It's just really amazing to see and hear how he does things, from the raspy vocals that you hear him, the screamed raspy vocals, to the more forlorn, despair-like sort of vocals that you hear in certain parts. He just has a way about him that's just so fearful, so intimidating, but yet he makes every single track that he does vocals on work so good and so well here. I mean, again, going back to the two short tracks that are on here, like Werwolf and Equestrian Bloodlust, he does some really, really top-notch vocal work and stylings here. And then going on to songs like June 44, Viktoria, The Devil's Song. Seriously fantastic vocal work here by Mortis. He really knows what he's doing. He's getting the job done here with this vocal performance, and it really shows you how strong of a vocalist Mortis has been over the last few years. Mortis, Ariok, whatever the hell you want to call him. He is really, truly one of the best vocalists in black metal and extreme music in general. What a performance by this guy. So overall, I had a blast listening to this thing. This album is great. This album is fun. If you're into Marduk, you definitely should have a great time with this record. Like I said, this is one of the shortest. This is the shortest album of the Mortis-fronted Marduk era. I don't know if I can say this is the best album of the Mortis-fronted era, because I still have personal feelings for Wormwood and Frontschwein. But Viktoria is another great one. It's another really awesome album. But yeah, I had a fucking great time listening to Viktoria, and I think you might have a great time listening to this as well. So, if I had to think of any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Werwolf, Equestrian Bloodlust, Narva, The Devil's Song, and Silent Night. Really, really fantastic album, and has lots of endless replay value in my opinion. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you some links in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you some links to some of the songs that are currently available on YouTube. I believe Werwolf and Equestrian Bloodlust, and I'll leave you links to where you can purchase it physically. It is available as a 12-inch vinyl and as a CD. Pick this up locally at Hog Wild Records here in San Antonio. Very basic, minimalist sort of presentation here. I like the fact that they went a little bit more of a stripped-down, basic sort of approach for the layout and design here for this album. Very, very awesome stuff. So again, the album is Viktoria by Marduk. This is released on Century Media Records. Go buy this shit. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 9 out of 10. One of the best black metal records of this year. One of the better Marduk albums to come out in recent memory. So if you happen to have heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to previous Marduk releases. Are any of you guys into Marduk? Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Armijo out.